everyone, and today I want to discuss with you something about the coronavirus subject, and this is about, protection, or particularly about the masks thing. I've heard so many opinions, also official opinions or unofficial, like from people from everywhere. They said that masks are wearing masks, except some kind of special ones, that those that are more expensive, and mostly there's a lack of them in the drugstores, and you're like almost cannot buy it right now. Like average masks are not helpful. Okay, let's think about it. You know what? First of all, let's see where actually coronavirus by now spreading the most. Okay, this is China, Italy, Iran, and you know what? In those countries like Japan, for example, it doesn't look like Japan actually is the country where coronavirus spreading extremely fast like it happened in Italy. And you know what? Strange, but Japanese culture is very normal for people to wearing mask when there is any kind of epidemic, or even this epidemic is not so huge, but because Japanese country is very, it's a country that has that kind of huge amount of population on the small island. And if you ever been to Japan, especially to those big cities like Tokyo, Osaka, you can feel it, how many people actually living there, because especially like in Tokyo, I've been living there, and when you passing street, people are so many. So obviously they don't want to get ill when there is some kind of grippe or influenza out there, and it's normal for them to wear mask. And not only when you're ill and you don't want to spread the infection, but also when you're healthy and you want to protect yourself. This is so logical for them. Also, the same things happening in China and in South Korea. And you know what? Looks like Chinese reports lately reporting that the amount of infected people and dead people really decreasing lately. And that's because of strong measures they took, like quarantine and disinfecting streets and wearing masks. Okay, like everybody is wearing masks in Asian countries. And looks like, surprisingly, in Japan it actually works. Japanese people, not only government, but people are very responsible about all the recommendation they're receiving from the government about to stay away from each other, not to shake hands, not to kiss each other, and especially to wear masks when you're out there in the public places. Of course, it's obviously a country like Japan, it's hard to close for quarantine everywhere and everything, like, some corporations, some offices where people working. This is not that kind of strong epidemic there yet, so they don't have to do this, but they want to prevent it. So they told to people, wear masks, and they do it. And you know what? When I'm hearing, like in Europe, somewhere else, all around the world, people saying, oh, masks are not effective against coronavirus. Coronavirus is different infection from any other kind of flu, grippe, any kind of virus, pneumonia like SARS is different. All right, it's different. But at the same time, if it's so different, why do they say this is easy to spread through the air? Like when someone's breathing on you, no matter whether he has symptoms or not, we're not talking about this now, but actually coronavirus is easy to spread through the air. If you're only breathing the same air with the ill person, probably you'll be infected. And now they're saying, like people thinking that masks are not going to help. But logically, this is impossible. because even if one mask could protect you for only 2 hours, but still it will protect you, that is better than nothing. And one more question: why every Japanese, Chinese, South Korean citizen, almost everybody wearing masks? Isn't it so useless? Are they stupid to wear them? Why everywhere else in the other world they saying that this is not effective? And even heard cases when people trying to wear masks in countries where people are not used to it, and they get some kind of criticism, they feeling shame because of they wear masks, because people thinking that they are ill. And I think this kind of shame is really, it's not the time for the shame, people. Come on. First of all, if you think logically, masks are actually working in any kind of viruses as long as they can be passed through the air. We are not talking about the amount of percentage, how they will decrease the chances to get infected. This is not the thing, but the thing is that you have to use any kind of option, any kind of measure to decrease these chances, including masks. And I think countries with the culture of wearing masks while epidemic is a very great thing and very normal. People must not shame each other for this. Must not make people think that if you're wearing masks, then everybody will think that you're ill, and that is why you have to think only about your image and not to protect yourself. But the matter is that you're not only protecting yourself, you're actually protecting everybody around you. If you're potentially ill, but you don't not developing any symptoms yet, you're protecting all the people around you by wearing masks. If you're healthy, you're protecting yourself and possibly members of your family when you're coming back home after walking through some public places. This is so logical. You know what? It's better to prevent than think of that kind of stupid shame, some kind of image. What kind of image you're talking about? This is illness, this is pandemic, this is epidemic. Think of more useful things in your life, like about protecting yourself, protecting people around you, because if you will let things go, it will swallow you up. It will eat you. I don't know. It will destroy you. You have to choose what is more important for you. And this is not the time for shame. This is not the time for shaming other persons. You have to be more stay together, do some things. I think this is so obvious. I have no idea why people thinking, and even some official information said that masks are not helping. They are, okay? I'm giving a chance to it, but probably this is kind of legend that's walking around about the masks. Actually was created intentionally just to keep the protective tools like masks for doctors, actually, because obviously doctors need them very much. That's a good thing to keep it for them, but you don't have to also spread this information around you among people saying that masks are not effective. This is not true if you think logically. Any kind of virus could be stopped or decreased a little bit by wearing mask. And you have no idea how helpful it could be, because I live in Japan and I really experiencing that. And trust me, masks helping when you're wearing them, whether you're ill or whether you're healthy, doesn't matter. But masks are helping when it comes to epidemic like that. So it's not only about washing your hands, not touching your face, but also about protect your your nose, your mouth, your breathing. And because this virus can be transferred through the air, that's what official information said about it. So think first before you're deciding not to wear mask when you go out in public places. Maybe all this legend about not effective masks are only a legend. You can decide for yourself, but definitely if your reason is only shame, don't go for it, because that's just pretty silly, I think, and irresponsible. So that was my video for today about the protecting matter against coronavirus. And don't forget, leave your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about it? What do you know about it? And thank you for watching. I'm Elise. Bye.